When the storm is raging and the world feels as though it is collapsing around you, silence becomes the rarest treasure. Your heart may pound with fear, your mind may whisper of defeat, yet there is a truth deeper than the noise. You are stronger than the storm. Within you lies a force, ancient and unshaken, that no hardship can extinguish. The question is not whether life will test you. It always will. The question is whether you will remember who you truly are in the midst of the trial. Change often comes to us like a fire. It burns without asking permission, consuming the familiar, tearing down the walls we once leaned upon for comfort. And yet, it is in this very fire that we are remade. Many run from it. Many resist it. To resist the fire is to resist life itself. For life is not still, and the soul was never meant to cling to what must eventually transform. When hard times arrive, they do not announce themselves gently. Come with force, loss, uncertainty, failure, heartbreak. We stand in the ashes of what we thought we needed, wondering how we will ever rise again. In those moments, it is natural to ask, "This happening to me?" But such a question closes the heart. The wiser question is, what is this fire trying to teach me? Understand this fire does not burn to destroy you, burns to remove what you no longer need. Just as the forest fire clears the ground so that new life may grow, the challenges in your life remove illusions, attachments, and false securities. You may not see it at first, but life is always guiding you closer to your true strength. Think of metal placed into a furnace. At first, the heat is unbearable. The metal glows, it softens, it changes shape. Cannot understand why the fire is necessary. But only in this state can the smith shape it into something greater. You are like that metal. Life, in its wisdom, places you in the heat, not to break you, to mold you. The parts of you that are meant to endure, your compassion, your inner courage, your deepest values, will only grow stronger in the flames. There is a quiet power in surrender. Does not mean you give up. It means you allow life to unfold without clinging desperately to what was. When you accept that change is inevitable, the fear begins to dissolve. You begin to see opportunities where once there was only loss. This is the hidden gift of hard times. They reveal your ability to begin again. But embracing change requires courage. It means allowing yourself to feel the discomfort fully rather than numbing it with distraction. It means acknowledging the grief of what has been lost while trusting that something new will emerge in its place. It means stepping forward even when you cannot yet see the ground beneath your feet. Ask yourself, what have I been holding on to that no longer serves me? Is it a belief that I am not strong enough? Is it the illusion that life must go according to my plans? Is it the fear of being alone or the weight of past mistakes? The fire of change will strip away what is heavy, but only if you allow it to. The greatest transformations often happen quietly beneath the surface. You may feel as though nothing is improving, but just as seeds lie unseen in the soil before breaking through the earth, your inner growth is taking root even when you cannot yet perceive it. Be patient with yourself. The fire will pass, and when it does, you will stand lighter, clearer, and more resilient than before. Remember, nothing that is truly meant for you can ever be taken away. The relationships, opportunities, and moments that shape your destiny will remain. Everything else is simply making room for what is to come. So, when you find yourself surrounded by uncertainty, do not curse the fire. Sit with it. Learn from it. Let it burn away the layers that have kept you small. With each spark, you are being refined into a truer version of yourself. And one day, when you look back, you will see that the fire was not your enemy, it was your teacher. Embrace the fire of change. For in its heat, soul remembers its strength. When the river floods, its waters rush and roar with relentless force, carrying away everything in their path. The trees with shallow roots are torn from the soil, but those with deep roots endure. In life, hard times are much like the flooding river. They arrive suddenly, shaking the ground beneath your feet, threatening to sweep away your peace. You do not find a way to anchor yourself. The chaos around you will pull you in and drown you in fear. But there is a sanctuary that no storm can touch. It does not exist outside of you. It exists within. Sanctuary is stillness. It is the place where the noise of the world cannot enter. It is the space where you are no longer tossed by every wave of thought and emotion. And in times of great challenge, stillness is not simply a comfort, it is your lifeline. Many people believe that peace will return once their problems disappear, but waiting for life to quiet down before you find calm is like waiting for the wind to stop blowing before you set sail. Life is movement, it is always changing, always testing, always asking you to adapt. You tie your peace to the outer world, you will forever be at the mercy of its storms. True strength comes from learning to be still even when the winds howl around you. Stillness is not the absence of action, it's passivity. It is the inner clarity that allows you to act with wisdom rather than with panic. When the mind is restless and reactive, it clings to fears and worst-case scenarios. But when you are anchored in stillness, you can see the situation as it truly is. You can discern the next step instead of flailing wildly in all directions. To anchor yourself in stillness, you must first learn to pause. Pause before you react to anger. Pause before you speak words you will later regret. Pause before you allow fear to dictate your choices. Pause is not weakness, it is the gathering of strength. In that pause, take a breath. Feel it travel through your body like a calming river, washing away the noise of the moment. There are many ways to cultivate this stillness, but all require intention. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day and watch the rhythm of your breath. Notice how your thoughts rise and fall like waves. Do not chase them. Let them come and go like leaves floating down a stream. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to return to this space when life feels overwhelming. Some find stillness in nature, the rustle of leaves, the sound of birds, the sight of mountains unmoved by the winds. Others find it in prayer or meditation, in the quiet repetition of words that remind them of something larger than themselves. Stillness is not about shutting out the world, it is about connecting to the unchanging essence that lives within you. When you are rooted in stillness, the chaos outside cannot unseat you. You become like the mountain, the clouds may gather around you, the rains may pour, the winds may rage, but your foundation remains unshaken. From this grounded place, you can face any challenge with grace. This inner calm also changes the way you relate to others. In times of struggle, people often act out of fear, anger, or desperation. But when you are anchored in stillness, you can respond with compassion rather than judgment. Your presence becomes a safe harbor for those who are lost in their own storms. Without speaking a word, you remind them that peace is possible. Remember, stillness is not something you must earn. It is your natural state, but it becomes buried beneath layers of noise and distraction. Hard times, though painful, are an invitation to return to it. They strip away what is unnecessary and ask you to remember what truly matters. So when the floods of life rise and the world feels uncertain, do not be swept away by fear. Drop your anchor deep into the stillness of your being. Breathe, listen, trust. In that quiet, steady space, you will find the strength to endure and the clarity to move forward, one step at a time. Anchor yourself in stillness, and no storm will ever uproot you. In difficult times, it is easy to feel as though life has emptied your hands. You may lose a job, a relationship, a dream you once held close. You may see others moving forward while you feel left behind. These moments can trick you into believing you have nothing left, that you are poor in opportunity, love, or strength. But this is an illusion. True abundance is not measured by the weight of what you hold in your hands. It is measured by the fullness of what you carry in your heart. The outer world may shift like the tides, taking and giving without warning, but the inner world can remain abundant if you nurture it. Inner abundance is the deep knowing that even when life seems scarce, you are not lacking. The understanding that peace, love, and gratitude cannot be stolen from you unless you give them away. What is the secret to cultivating this inner wealth? It begins with gratitude. Gratitude is like sunlight to the seeds of abundance. Even in the darkest seasons, there is always something, no matter how small, for which you can be grateful. The breath moving in and out of your body, the ability to rise each morning and try again, the simple kindness of a stranger. These are treasures often overlooked, yet they are the foundation of lasting joy. When you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present, something miraculous happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance. You stop measuring your worth by the opinions of others or the number of possessions you own. You begin to realize that abundance was never about accumulation. It was always about connection. To yourself, to others, to life itself. But gratitude alone is not enough. You must also cultivate generosity. This may sound paradoxical in hard times. How can you give when you feel you have so little? Yet the act of giving, even in small ways, opens the heart and allows the flow of life to return. Share a kind word, offer a helping hand, or simply be fully present with someone who is hurting. These gestures cost nothing. They enrich the spirit beyond measure. Generosity does not drain your energy, it multiplies it. When you give from a place of love, you remind yourself that you are not empty. You realize that you still have something valuable to offer the world, and this awareness awakens a sense of purpose. Purpose is a pillar of inner abundance because it keeps you connected to something larger than your personal struggles. To cultivate inner abundance, you must also be mindful of your thoughts. Scarcity begins in the mind. When you constantly tell yourself, I am not enough, I will never have enough, life is against me, you strengthen the roots of fear. When you choose to nurture thoughts of possibility, hope begins to bloom. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to see beyond the current moment, trusting that life is capable of renewal. Spend time each day tending to your inner garden. Ask yourself, what beliefs am I watering? Are they beliefs of lack or of strength? Are they beliefs that close my heart or open it wider? Each choice matters. Thought is a seed, and the harvest will reflect what you plant. Inner abundance also comes from recognizing your inherent worth. You are not valuable because of what you achieve or possess. You are valuable simply because you are alive, because there is no one else like you. This truth remains even when life strips away the outer symbols of success. When you anchor yourself in this unchanging worth, hard times lose their power to define you. Finally, remember that abundance flows where there is trust. Trust the rhythm of life. Trust that the emptiness you feel now is not the end, the beginning of something new. Just as the tree sheds its leaves in winter to prepare for spring, life may be clearing space for growth you cannot yet see. Even in the midst of loss, your heart can remain full. Even when the outer world seems barren, your spirit can be rich beyond measure. This is the promise of inner abundance. When you cultivate it, no hardship can take it from you. Cultivate inner abundance, you will find that you were never truly empty. There is a truth that the heart often resists, yet it is the essence of life itself. Nothing remains the same forever. The sun rises and sets, the seasons come and go, the tide moves in and out, and we too are swept along in this endless rhythm. This is impermanence. It is not a punishment, nor is it cruel. It is the natural law of existence. And when you learn to accept impermanence, you discover a freedom and peace that hardship can never take away. Many of the struggles you face in life come from the refusal to let go. You wish for the joyous moments to last forever, and you fear that the painful ones will never end. But the reality is that both joy and sorrow pass. They arrive like guests, stay for a while, and then leave. You cling to the good times. You will suffer when they change. If you fight against the hard times, you will exhaust yourself. But when you accept impermanence, you begin to move with life instead of against it. Think of the trees in autumn. They do not resist the falling of their leaves. They do not mourn the loss of summer or cling to what is fading. Instead, they release what must go, trusting that spring will come again. This is the wisdom of nature. It teaches us that endings are not final. They are simply a part of the cycle. The same is true of your life. Chapter you are living now will not last forever, no matter how heavy it feels. When hard times come, it can seem as though the darkness will never lift. But every night eventually gives way to dawn. Even the longest winter is followed by spring. Accepting impermanence allows you to hold on to hope because you understand that no pain is permanent. This truth does not erase your challenges, but it softens them. It reminds you that change is always possible, even when you cannot yet see it. Acceptance of impermanence also changes how you experience the good moments. When you know that nothing lasts forever, you begin to cherish what you have now instead of taking it for granted. You become fully present, savoring the beauty of each day, each conversation, each breath. Is not a reason to feel anxious about losing what you love. Rather, it is an invitation to love it more deeply while it is here. But how do you practice accepting impermanence in daily life? Begins with awareness. Notice the subtle changes around you, the shifting colors of the sky, the way your thoughts and emotions rise and fade, the small ways your body and mind transform over time. Changes are constant, yet most people rush through life without seeing them. When you slow down and pay attention, you begin to realize that impermanence has always been present. You can also practice letting go in small ways. Release the need to control outcomes. Release grudges and resentments that weigh down your heart. Release the self-criticism that keeps you trapped in the past. Act of letting go is like dropping a stone you have been carrying, and with each stone you release, you feel lighter. This does not mean you should not care about the people or things you love. It means you honor them without trying to own or control them. You understand that they are part of life's flowing river, just as you are. And when the time comes for them to change or move on, you can say goodbye with grace, knowing that this is the way of all things. Accepting impermanence requires courage, because it asks you to face the truth of change and mortality. But it also brings profound peace. When you stop fighting the reality that life is always changing, you no longer fear it as much. You begin to see beauty even in the endings because you understand that they make way for new beginnings. So when life feels uncertain, remember this moment will pass. When you are in pain, remember this pain will pass. When you are in joy, remember this joy will also pass. So drink it deeply while it lasts. Impermanence is not something to fear. It is a reminder that life is precious because it is fleeting. Accept impermanence, and you will no longer cling desperately to what is leaving or despair when life takes a different shape. You will walk with a lighter heart, ready to embrace whatever comes next. When storms rage and uncertainty surrounds you, it is natural to feel unsteady, as if the ground beneath your feet is shifting. In such times, many people look outward for something or someone to hold on to. The greatest stability you can find comes from within, And it is discipline that forms those deep, unshakable roots. Discipline is not a harsh taskmaster, as many mistakenly believe. It is not about punishment, nor is it about forcing yourself into rigid perfection. True discipline is an act of love. It is the daily choice to care for your body, your mind, and your spirit, even when you do not feel like it. The quiet commitment to show up for yourself and for life, day after day, especially when the winds of hardship blow. Imagine a tree standing on the edge of a cliff. If its roots are shallow, the first strong gust will uproot it. But if the roots reach deep into the earth, the tree will remain standing no matter how fierce the storm. Your discipline is like those roots. Each small, consistent action you take to nurture yourself, to uphold your values, and to honor your commitment strengthens the foundation on which you stand. In hard times, the mind often seeks escape, wants to hide from discomfort, delay responsibilities, or numb the pain with distractions. While this may bring temporary relief, it weakens your inner strength over time. Discipline, on the other hand, trains you to stay present with what is without running from it. It teaches you that you are capable of doing what is necessary even when life feels heavy. Does not mean you must take great leaps or accomplish extraordinary things every day. Discipline is built in small, steady steps. It might be waking up at the same hour each morning, even when you feel like staying in bed. It might be nourishing your body with healthy food rather than giving in to unhealthy cravings. It might be taking time to meditate, pray, or simply sit in silence, even when your mind is restless. At first, these actions may feel insignificant, but over time, they create order where there was chaos. Remind you that while you may not control what is happening outside of you, you can control how you choose to live within it. This inner sense of control brings strength, confidence, and peace. Discipline also helps you stay aligned with your deeper purpose. In challenging seasons, it is easy to forget your values or lose sight of what truly matters. But when you practice discipline, you anchor yourself to those values through daily actions. If kindness is important to you, you make a habit of speaking gently even when you are frustrated. If health is important, you care for your body even when life feels too busy. In this way, discipline becomes an expression of who you are, not just something you do. Yet discipline is not built on willpower alone, strengthened by compassion. If you stumble or miss a step, do not fall into shame. Shame erodes the very roots you are trying to grow. Instead, forgive yourself and return to the practice. True discipline is not about never falling, it is about rising each time you do. It is also important to understand that discipline is freedom. Many believe it restricts them, but the opposite is true. Without discipline, you become a prisoner of your impulses and emotions. You drift with every wave of distraction or fear. With discipline, you gain the ability to direct your life with intention. You no longer wait for motivation to carry you forward. You take steady steps regardless of how you feel. This is true power. So, in times of hardship, do not neglect the roots that sustain you. Strengthen them through daily acts of care, structure, and purpose. Even if the outer world feels unstable, you will remain grounded like the tree with deep roots. The storms may howl, the winds may test you, you will not break. Strengthen the roots of discipline, and you will discover that stability has always been within you. The mind is like a garden. What you allow to enter and take root will determine the kind of life you live. If you plant seeds of hope, faith, and gratitude, your inner world will blossom with peace. But if you allow seeds of fear, anger, and doubt to grow unchecked, they will choke out your joy and cloud your vision. This is why it is essential to guard the gate of the mind, especially in hard times. In moments of struggle, the mind becomes more vulnerable. The storms of life stir the soil, and weeds of negativity can take hold more easily. Fear whispers that you will not make it. Doubt tells you that you are not strong enough. Despair tries to convince you that your situation will never change. These voices are persistent, and if you entertain them, they will build walls inside you, cutting you off from the light of hope. Guarding your mind does not mean you must fight every thought. It means becoming aware of what you are allowing in, just as a wise gardener knows which plants to water and which to remove. You must discern which thoughts nourish you and which ones harm you. This requires stillness and awareness, for many harmful thoughts creep in quietly, unnoticed. Begin by observing your inner dialogue. What words do you speak to yourself when you wake in the morning? Are they words of encouragement, or do they immediately weigh you down? What do you tell yourself when you make a mistake? Do you offer kindness, or do you replay harsh criticisms over and over? Your self-talk shapes your reality more than you realize. Guarding the mind begins with choosing words that uplift and empower, even in the face of difficulty. Mindful also of the influences you allow from the outside world. The books you read, the conversations you engage in, the media you consume. All of these are seeds planted in the fertile ground of your mind. Ask yourself, do they inspire courage, or do they fill you with fear? Do they lead you closer to wisdom, or do they distract you with noise? Guarding the gate of your mind may mean turning away from sources that constantly feed negativity, even if the world calls it normal. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher, who remind you of your strength and goodness. In times of hardship, it is easy to absorb the fear or anger of others, but true friends will help you rise rather than pull you down. Their words and presence act as a protective shield, helping you to remember the truth when your own faith feels weak. Guarding your mind does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that pain does not exist. It means choosing not to dwell endlessly on what you cannot control. It means focusing your thoughts on solutions rather than problems, on possibilities rather than limitations. The mind has great power. Whatever you focus on grows stronger. When you choose to feed hope and gratitude, you create an inner strength that no external challenge can shatter. Another way to guard your mind is through daily practices that center and purify it. Meditation, prayer, or even a few moments of conscious breathing can create a space between you and your thoughts. In that space, you realize that you are not the voice of fear, you are the awareness listening to it. This realization gives you the power to choose which thoughts you will allow to stay and which you will release. Finally, remember that guarding the gate of the mind is an ongoing practice. Weeds will always try to grow, and you must tend your mental garden daily. Some days you will slip and allow negative thoughts to overtake you. Do not despair. Simply return to the practice. Each time you choose a thought of love over fear, each time you replace self-doubt with self-belief, you strengthen the walls of your inner sanctuary. When your mind is guarded, you are unshakable. The outer world may shift, but you will not be consumed by its chaos. Fear may knock at the door, but you do not have to let it in. Guard the gate of your mind, and you will discover a quiet power within you, a power that can face any hardship and remain at peace. In the midst of hardship, it is easy to feel lost. Pain can narrow your vision until all you see is your own suffering. You may begin to ask yourself, why should I keep going? What is the point? These questions can feel heavy, even paralyzing. There is one force that can lift you above despair and guide you through the darkness: purpose. Purpose is the quiet fire that burns in the heart. It is not about fame, fortune, or grand achievements. True purpose is rooted in love and service. It is the understanding that your life is not only about you. It is about the lives you touch, the light you bring, and the difference you make. Even in the smallest of ways, when you walk with purpose, every step gains meaning. Even in the middle of a storm, you are no longer wandering aimlessly. You have direction. You know that the challenges you face are shaping you for something greater, and this knowing gives you strength to keep moving forward. Purpose does not always arrive as a lightning bolt. Often, discovered in the quiet act of showing up for others. Ask yourself, who can I help today? Whose burden can I ease, even just a little? It might be a loved one, a neighbor, a stranger, or even yourself. Act of kindness, no matter how small, carries ripples far beyond what you can see. Consider this: when you are consumed by your own pain, the world feels small and suffocating. But the moment you reach out to help someone else, your perspective widens. You begin to see that life is larger than your struggle. Helping another does not erase your difficulties, but it gives you a reason to rise each morning. It transforms your pain into fuel for compassion. Walking with purpose also means staying connected to your values, even when it is hard. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I wish to be in this moment? When you choose honesty over deceit, kindness over bitterness, perseverance over surrender, you reaffirm your purpose. Each choice becomes a building block of your character, a quiet testament to your inner strength. There will be days when you feel too tired to move forward, days when your purpose seems distant and unclear. On those days, do not wait for inspiration to find you. Take one small step in alignment with your values. Write one encouraging message. Offer one word of gratitude. Do one thing that reminds you that your life matters. These small actions will gradually awaken the deeper fire within you. Purpose also requires that you listen to the whispers of your heart. What gives you a sense of aliveness? What gifts do you hold that the world needs? Sometimes hardship is the very crucible that reveals these gifts. A person who has walked through loss may become a source of comfort to others. Someone who has faced adversity may find the strength to fight for justice or healing. Your struggles can become the very path through which your purpose shines, but walking with purpose does not mean life will suddenly become easy. The storms will still come. The compass is the compass that keeps you from losing your way. It reminds you that every trial can hold meaning, even if you cannot yet see it. Purpose gives you the courage to face challenges, not as punishments, as opportunities to grow, to serve, and to love more deeply. When you walk with purpose, you also become a light for others. They may see your resilience and be inspired to keep going themselves. Your quiet strength may be the reason someone else does not give up. In this way, purpose creates a ripple effect, touching lives far beyond your own. So, when hardship threatens to overwhelm you, remember that you are here for a reason. You are not an accident, and your life is not meaningless. Each step you take with purpose sends a message to the universe: I will not be defined by my pain. I will use it to bring light into the world. Walk with purpose, and even in the darkest night, you will find the strength to move toward the dawn. And so, as you walk forward from this moment, remember this truth: strength you seek has always lived within you. The storms of life may test you, but they cannot destroy you. Not when you choose to grow from every challenge, to stand rooted in stillness, to see abundance where the world sees lack, to trust the changing seasons, to stay disciplined when the road is long, to guard the sanctuary of your mind, and to walk with unwavering purpose. You are not here by accident. Every breath you take, every step you choose with courage, ripples far beyond what you can see. Do not wait for life to become easy before you rise. Rise now and watch how life unfolds in response. The world needs the light only you can bring. Carry it boldly. Let it shine through your words, your actions, your presence. And when the darkness comes, and it will, you will not only find your way through it, you will become a beacon for others still searching for theirs. Stand tall. Keep walking. Your journey has only just begun.